Alright guys, today I want to talk about shaving against the grain and whether it's really necessary or not. I mean, the question doesn't ever get brought up, is it necessary to shave against the grain? But it does get talked about. You know, people want to know how to do it. What's the safest way? And I approach the topic in my videos quite often. I tell people, basically how to do it. And, I have my own way. Everybody has their own techniques. I gotta rinse my hands off. But I want to drive a point home today about whether you should or should not. Now, as time goes on, whether I'm shaving my head or my face, I actually find it less necessary to shave against the grain. I just don't think it's worth it too much anymore. It doesn't mean I never do it. Sometimes I only shave against the grain. Depends on my mood and what I want. But there's pros and cons to it. But I will say that for the most part, just grab your cartridge razor, your safety razor, whatever it is you use, and just try shaving with the grain only, and seeing if you can satisfy yourself with that. The reason why a lot of guys are hesitant to do this is because from the time that they learned how to shave, when their dad first stood them in front of the mirror and told them, how to hold the razor, how to apply the cream, how to move the razor up and down, and then how to get a really close shave. They've been taught this, and you don't want to go against tradition, right? You just don't. This is the way we've always done it, correct? And I just find that for me, shaving against the grain is just no longer necessary. And I'll tell you why this is a plus, is because one, it does save time. I mean, I could actually do this a lot faster if I wasn't making the video. It saves time because you're eliminating a step, which is, rinsing, reapplying product, and then, in fact, I don't really normally shave in this pattern. I'm just trying to work around my talking here. But you're saving a step. So, you have that. But also, you eliminate some of the danger of shaving against the grain. Anytime I've ever cut myself shaving my head or my face, it usually comes down to dull razors, or razors that are too new and too sharp, or I'm moving too fast. And generally it happens when I'm shaving against the grain. Right? You guys know this, you've experienced it yourself. But why would we want to keep shaving against the grain despite the length of time it takes us to do it, despite the dangers that it presents, ripping our skin? And I've shown guys how to get around that and how to safely shave against the grain and mitigate cuts and rashes and stuff like that. But you don't even need all that if you just don't do this. So we do it because we want the really, really close shave, right? I mean, we want as close as we can get. My question is, why? Why do we want it that close? Because let's get real. Within 12 hours, well, at least less than 24, we got some stubble back, don't we? So why give yourself a headache over getting just a smidgen closer because we think it's going to look nicer? A lot of times, guys, I've heard guys over the years say, well, I just want to make sure that when my wife kisses me, that she's getting as baby smooth as possible so she can avoid getting a rash herself. I get that. But like I said, it grows back so fast. At what time of the day are you kissing her? And if you're lucky, she's still kissing you, right? So anyway, I just don't think that shaving against the grain is really worth it anymore. Well, I do it from time to time, just because. But I will tell you also, if you're shaving your head, shaving against the grain will actually give your head a very high polished look. It, light bounces off of it. It shimmers, and some guys actually like that, and I hate it. And to be honest with you, most people don't like that. I just don't like that look. And I think, to me, it looks ridiculous. And I used to get so many comments on it. Oh, your head is so shiny. You must have just shaved. It's like, do we have to talk about this? Really? Like, wait, why is this the topic of conversation? You can't think of anything else. And so, yeah, it would drive me absolutely insane. But, yeah, I just don't think it's worth the time. I don't think it's worth the risk of, cutting yourself, regardless of what kind of razor you're using. And some razors, like the Omni Shaver that I have, and I've shown you guys this before, the Omni Shaver, you use it back and forth in your head, so you're so simultaneously you're going with and against the grain. And it's meant for your head. It's really, you can use it anywhere else in your body. And it's cool, it works really well. But I like just a very good traditional shave. And I actually, I'll put a link for this down below, but I actually like a good traditional shave, just with the grain, not against it. And you still get a nice look. I mean, it still looks great. In fact, there's a little bit of hair on the back of my neck here that I keep forgetting to get. Anyway, you still get this nice look. Let me rinse my face off. Anyway. So anyway, you still get the nice, clean shaven look. It's not, your beard is not going to be that much more grown in at the end of the day than it would be if you shaved against the grain. Your skin is less irritated. It's just much, to me, the juice is not worth the squeeze going against the grain all the time. You know what I mean? And so I just try not to do it as much anymore. And I'm satisfied with it. Make sure, even though you've only shaven with the grain, make sure you still apply aftershave after you get done, whether it's a splash or a lotion or whatever it might be. Today, I'm going to use Brut. This is an old-fashioned cologne. You know how long this has been around? Since 1964. This is 60 years old, not this bottle. But Brut has been around since 1964. It was originally owned by Fabergé Paris. Now it's owned by Unilever, like everything else under the sun is. But it's just a nice classic scent. It'll remind you of what your dad or your grandfather used. And I don't use it all the time, but I don't shave all the time. But this is a splash on. It's not a lotion, but you still get a little bit of that sting. Not much. That's the other thing, is when you apply aftershave like this, it normally stings your face. It's not going to be as harsh when you've only gone with the grain. All right, guys, that's my 2 cents. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment down below. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. See all my other shaving tutorials I'll put on a playlist. I've done lots of them on shaving the head, which I don't think I'm going to shave my head today. I might use an electric shaver like my Brio rays on my head. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for following along. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.